All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So tons of crazy ESPN rumors are coming out this morning regarding Sam Darnold. We're going to get into all of it. We're going to break it all down. And then, of course, at the end, I did want to bring up a hidden truth about Sam Darnold's trade value not many people are talking about. So with that being said, let's dive in. So the first bit of news that came out this morning was that Sam Darnold's trade market is shrinking, right? Supposedly, they talked to multiple GMs about Sam Darnold's value, trade compensation, and the response from multiple people here was anywhere from a third-round pick to a conditional fourth-round pick. And then later on in the day, this actually came out not too long ago here. Jeremy Fowler of ESPN reported that it's still keeping Sam Darnold is still on the table, right? The Jets can still go out and draft a quarterback at 2, whether it's Zach Wilson or whoever, and keep Darnold on the roster and then make a decision afterwards. So let's be honest with ourselves for just a second. Okay, the overall perception of Sam Darnold across the league throughout the course of this entire offseason has been nothing but inconsistent. Okay, last month, we had Adam Schefter of ESPN come out and say that he believes that the Jets will land a first-round pick in return for Sam Darnold. That's huge. That would be great. And then on the other side of the coin, we heard rumors that there were multiple teams out there that wouldn't even give up a 7th-round pick for Darnold because there's just too many concerns and they don't want anything to do with them. And then we got the bombshell report about the 8 teams that had significant interest in Sam Darnold. They were calling the Jets. There was that level of trade interest, but nothing ever transpired. There was just nothing on the Sam Darnold front. Slowly but surely, we started seeing quarterbacks getting moved. Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Andy Dalton, Tyrod Taylor in Houston. There was a lot of quarterback moves, a lot of quarterback transactions, but just nothing with Darnold. Then we had the weird, anonymous, mysterious text from an NFL coach saying, "He stinks, bro." One of the teams, actually, the San Francisco 49ers, a team that everybody thought Darnold was going to wind up with when it was all said and done because of, he's going back home. He's a really good system fit in San Francisco with Kyle Shanahan, a guy who can really maximize his talent at the quarterback position. He's done it time and time again. They don't really have that franchise. Jimmy, post lower body injury, Jimmy Garoppolo isn't really the guy moving forward. Hasn't been that reliable player at the quarterback position. Everybody was thinking San Francisco, but they go out and give 3 first-round picks and a third-round pick to move up to the 3rd overall pick in the draft, where you're not even landing the best or arguably the second best quarterback in the draft. They gave up that haul for arguably quarterback 3 or 4, passing on Sam Darnold when the trade compensation for Darnold wouldn't even cost half of that. So it's a lot to wrap your head around. I'm right there with you. I completely understand it. It's a big whirlwind. Nobody truly knows what's going to happen or how this thing is going to play out. But for me personally, when I'm weighing the pros, 23 years old, still has an upside. He was drafted 3rd overall. At times, he's looked good. Everybody references the bomb against the Cowboys to Robbie Anderson, the scramble play this season against the Colts, rookie season against the Packers, rookie season against the Texans. Against the cons, struggles with decision-making, accuracy, arm strength, turnovers, mechanics, inability to stay healthy, inability to elevate the team around him. To me, I think a 3rd to a 4th round pick is fair. I would take that. I think that's fair compensation. The overall production for me, like if I was a team out there, I would be okay giving a 3rd or a 4th. A 1st round pick, too valuable. Now, if somebody suddenly offers a 1st round pick, then let's make it happen. Like let's strike a deal, or even a 2nd round pick as well. I just don't feel like that's realistic at this point in time. Now, here's the hidden truth about Darnold's trade market, trade value. I don't want this to get overlooked because it seems like with every passing week, Sam Darnold's trade market gets a little bit weaker. It's almost vanishing. Darnold's stock can actually rise, right? It's not some foregone conclusion that the longer the Jets hold on to him, the worse his stock is going to fall or the worse of a pick we get. I mean, yes, we have teams out there like the Colts making moves for Carson Wentz and the Steelers signing Dwayne Haskins and bringing back Ben Roethlisberger. And, like I said before, the Niners trading up, Washington adding Ryan Fitzmagic. Yes, there are teams out there making moves, but there's still teams on the outside looking in. The Chicago Bears, do they really feel comfortable moving forward with Andy Dalton? The Carolina Panthers, and that's the team that we're going to get into here, they're sitting at spot number 8. they're sitting at spot number 8. If we look at this thing from a mock draft perspective, Jacksonville's going quarterback. The Jets are probably going to go quarterback. The Niners will go quarterback. Atlanta, they will be in play for a quarterback. Who really on the board is there that would come in at a huge position of need that's worth taking with the 4th overall pick? To me, it sounds a lot like the Patrick Mahomes, Alex Smith situation. You can take a highly talented quarterback in the top end of the 1st round, stash him on the bench for a season under Matt Ryan, a veteran quarterback. By the time he's ready to play, he comes in with a bunch of 1st round picks in the offensive line, a ton of weapons and playmakers on defense with a brand new coaching staff. So you're looking at the first 4 picks being quarterbacks. Who's picking 5th? Bengals, they won't take one. Miami won't take one at 6. Lions, probably not. So at 8, at spot number 8, do you want to go with Teddy Bridgewater? He's option number 1. Option number 2 is taking the 5th quarterback on the board, whoever that might be, whether it's Justin Fields, maybe it's Mac Jones, maybe it's Trey Lance. At this point, it's kind of all up in the air. Or do you want to trade a 3rd round pick for Sam Darnold, a 2nd round pick for Sam Darnold? Because all of a sudden, Carolina could be in a huge position of desperation where they're looking at the roster and they're saying, okay, we can either roll with Teddy Bridgewater, we can take the 5th best quarterback in the draft at spot number 8, or we can trade a middle round pick for Sam Darnold, a 3rd round pick, a 2nd round pick, and now we can use that 8th pick on a playmaker like Kyle Pitts, possibly, or a playmaker on defense, like a cornerback or another position of need. Who knows? I mean, if all of these quarterbacks are starting to get taken, now all of these really good players get shoved down, that's just how the draft works. Carolina could be in that position. So, and by the way, nobody really knows what's happening with the Watson situation. It looks like there's no end in sight. So for that, I'm just putting that on pause, putting it to the side. So Carolina, I know they want to move off of Teddy. They want to clear the cap. They want to get a young franchise quarterback in the building so they can start building the team with Joe Brady and Matt Rule and move forward from there. So I know with every passing week, it seems like Sam Darnold's trade value, his market continues to fall further and further into the abyss, but we have to remember one thing. When we're talking about the quarterback position, there are still teams out there that are on the outside looking in, like the Carolina Panthers, like the Denver Broncos. A huge team to keep your eye on is the Philadelphia Eagles. They traded Carson Wentz. Yes, they have Jalen Hurts on the roster, but with the new coaching staff coming in the building, there's no attachment to Hurts. He was a 2nd round pick. He wasn't a top 10 guy. They already have interest in Zach Wilson, and they traded down. So now they're sitting at spot number 12. They have interest in the quarterback position. Maybe they want a guy to build around. Maybe they can get Sam Darnold. Joe Douglas can send Darnold to his old team for a reasonable price. So you never really know how these things work out. So I'll leave it there. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Are you hitting the panic button as it pertains to Sam Darnold's trade value? I know a lot of people are, but we have to be patient with it. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And as always, go Jets.